Phase 2 of Season of Discovery is less than a week away, which means it's the perfect time to start getting your Phase 2 Pre BIS gear for your warrior. And I aim to help you do this by showing you some of your best and easiest options for gear. Some of this gear can even be obtained right now. So let's get right into it and start off with the DPS gear. For your helmet, you will want the Raging Berserker's Helm. This will drop from the Herod boss in the Scarlet Monastery Armory dungeon. It has a 33% chance to drop, so it shouldn't be too hard to get, and it comes with 13 strength, 8 stamina, and 1% crit chance. Next up will be the next slot. In this slot you will have two options. You can either get the High Tide Choker from the BFD raid right now, or wait until Phase 2 and complete the Shadow Shard Fragments quest, which will start in Orgrimmar if you are Horde or Dustwallow Marsh for Alliance. This quest will give you the Zealous Shadow Shard Pendant, and of course the Shadow Shard Pendant option will be a lot easier as it is a guaranteed drop and it will give you 20 attack power, but some people will find the agility on the High Tide Choker more helpful. In the shoulder slot, we will want the Failed Flying Experiment. This will come from the Rescue OOX22FE quest in Feralis, and it has 10 strength and 10 agility on it, so it is very good. But it is a level 45 quest, so you may need help for it. If you don't have anyone to help you with that quest, a good alternative is to buy the Brutus Shoulders of the Tiger from the auction house, if you can get them for a good price. Moving on to your cloak, I really like the Dark Hooded Cape, which gives 4 strength and 10 agility, but it comes from the rare enemy Namar the Slayer, which you can find inside of this circled area of the map in the Arathi Highlands zone. It only has a 9% chance to drop, so if you can't get it for yourself, or if it's too expensive, your next best option is the Captain's Cloak of the Tiger, or the Captain's Cloak of Strength. These are both world drops, so keep an eye out for them on the auction house, and I would also suggest tossing on the Lesser Agility enchant onto whichever cloak that you get for an extra 3 agility. Moving on to the chest slot, here we will have one option for each faction. For Alliance, you will want to go to Badlands and start the Tremors of the Earth questline, which will give you the Warforged chestplate. And for Horde, you will want to go to the Hinterlands and start the Venom to the Undercity questline. This will give you the Honor Guard chest piece. Then you can toss the Lesser Stats enchant onto whichever chest piece you get for a bonus 2 points to every stat. For your wrist slot, I would suggest grinding out your Warsong rep right now to buy the Berserker Bracers. These things come with 14 strength, 6 agility, and 8 stamina, making them the best option. But if you dislike PvP or grinding rep, your next best easier option is the Ravager's Arm Guards, which you can buy from the auction house. And you will want to put the Lesser Strength enchant on whichever bracers you get for an extra 3 strength. In the glove slot, the best option may seem like the Gloves of Holy Might, as they will give you 1% crit strike, 20 attack power, and another 30 attack power when fighting undead, but this is going to be extremely difficult for an average player to get or even purchase. So instead, I would recommend going into the Uldaman dungeon and grabbing the Cragfists of the Tiger or the Cragfists of Strength. This will be a lot easier to get, and you can put the Strength enchant onto them for an extra 5 strength. For the waist slot, your best choice will be either the Defiler's Plate Girdle or the Highlander's Plate Girdle, but these will require you to grind Arathi Basin rep, which could take a while. So your next best option will be the Boar Champion's Plate from the Razorfen Downs dungeon. And in the leg slot, your best option will be the Scarlet Leggings, which drop from Herod in Scarlet Monastery Armory, which you should already be doing for the helmet. These are great pants that give you 20 strength and 10 stamina. For the boot slot, the best choice will be the Defiler's Plate Greaves, as they will give you 8 strength, agility, and stamina, and they will boost your run speed, but again this will require you to grind Arathi Basin rep. So before you get these, you should grab the Shin Kicker boots, which will come from the Delivery to McKinley quest in Teneris. And for your boots, you will want the Lesser Agility enchant. In the Trinket slot, you will want the Avenger's Void Pearl. This will give you 10 shadow resistance and 18 attack power, and it comes from the pearl that drops at the end of the BFD raid, so you can get your hands on this right now very easily. And in your second Trinket slot, you will want the level 40 version of the Rune of Duty. This comes from the Warsong rep vendor once you reach Friendly, and it will give you 7 stamina and has an on-equip bonus of restoring 6 health every 5 seconds. In your ring slots, you will want the Protector's band if you are Alliance or the Legionnaire's band for Horde. These will come from the Warsong rep once reaching Honored, and they give 8 strength, 8 agility, and 5 stamina, and it's not too hard to reach Honored. In your second ring slot, I would suggest either the Marsh Ring of the Tiger for 6 agility and 6 stamina, which you can buy from the auction house, or you can head into the Scarlet Monastery dungeons to farm for the Mark of Kern for 4 stamina and 20 attack power, or the Iron Spine's Eye for 4 strength and 9 agility. And finally, we have the weapons. Now of course, the big weapon warriors have access to in Phase 2 will be the Whirlwind Axe. And it's actually not too hard to get considering how good it is, so I would focus on doing the warrior questline for this weapon to save time on getting a different weapon, then throw the 2-hand weapon impact enchant onto it. And for your ranged weapon, I would suggest at least getting the Naga Heartrender bow for the extra 5 strength. You can get this right now in the BFD raid. But if you really want to ball out, you could get the monolithic bow or the silencer from the auction house. So now let's talk about the gear that you will need for prot spec. Thankfully, if you stick to this list, you really won't need to change out much. You could replace your helmet with the Avangard helm, which comes from the God Akar quest in the Sunken Temple dungeon. This will give you 25 stamina, 10 spirit, and 5 agility, and almost 500 armor. And if you are a blacksmith, I would also suggest crafting and using the shifting silver breastplate, as it is very good and it's easy to get. Of course, you may also want a one-handed weapon and shield, which you can get in the Razorfen Downs dungeon. The sword you will want will be the Vanquisher sword. This will have 30 DPS and add 28 attack power. I say to go for this weapon because it's easy to pick up, as it comes from the Bring the Light quest if you are Alliance or the Bring the End quest if you are Horde. You can find these quests in either Stormwind or Undercity. And while you're doing that quest, you can get the Savage Boar's Guard Shield, which has a 40% chance to drop from the Ragglesnout boss in Razorfen Downs. This shield will give you 22 block, 11 strength, and 6 stamina, so it is pretty good. And that's pretty much it for this video. This was just an outline for what you will need as pre-best in slot gear for the Gnomergan raid in Phase 2, but I will also be making build videos for the warrior class once we see what runes we will be getting. But I hope this video helped you, and thank you for watching.